Van D, a dynamic leader with decades of experience building companies and crushing sales. He's been there and done that.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Van D.
Inspiring audiences across the country to do it too. Here's Van.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Van Deeb podcast. I'm here today with the greatest podcast producer in the entire universe, planetary, and world, Cam Broham. Yay, Cam.
Thanks, Van, but I think you're giving me too much credit.
I don't believe so. Plus, you pay me really well to say nice things about you.
Checks in the mail, man, for sure.
I haven't got one yet. You said this is my 72nd episode.
Yeah.
I still haven't got a check from you.
Oh, it's coming.
I'm going to go check the mail today.
I would look at the bank. They might be a little slow this week.
Okay.
It's
going to come today. I'm positive. I'm thinking positive.
Yeah.
Speaking of thinking positive, the topic today is eliminating the negative noise. Now, let me tell you something. I love to talk about things that everybody can relate to, one, and that we're all capable of doing. I've never been a fan of sitting in on a motivational seminar or listening to a speaker telling me things that I know for sure I'm not capable of doing or do I want to do. But this, ladies and gentlemen, we all have the ability to do it. Maybe not one day it's going to happen, but it's going to happen eventually. It's something you have to work on. And that's eliminating the negative noise. It's like anything in life. If you make it your discipline that you want to eliminate negative things in your life and you make it your discipline, eventually it will become a habit and then it will become natural. Now, I'm just describing what I've done in my life. And like I said earlier, it didn't happen in one day. It happens over time. I've made a conscious effort in my life, a conscious effort to eliminate anything negative. And that, that doesn't include people I care about deeply going through difficult times. That doesn't include that. And you guys know what I'm talking about. That's something that as good humans, when people are going through tough times or family or friends or even yourself, there's going to be negativity. And that's just part of being a good human, is to be there for them. It's nobody's fault but my own, is what I constantly remind myself whenever I find myself getting frustrated from listening to negativity. I want to tell you something. I started eliminating anything that made my mind not think positively. And that started with news and listening to people that constantly complain and situations where, it can just be absorbed. You can absorb negativity and you don't even know it. That's why they say you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Well, if you spend tons of time with people that are negative, you're going to be negative. Just in reverse, if you spend a lot of time with positive people, you're going to be positive. A negative mind will never give you a positive life. That's a fact. So, most of you know that have attended my motivational seminars or listened to my podcasts or read my monthly newsletters, which you can sign up at vandeeb.com. I get most of my motivation from preachers and other spiritual leaders because I value their insights about how to live a productive and meaningful life. So some of the people I'm thankful for that I've learned things from is Dr. Kurt Dodd, pastor at Westside Church, Rick Warren, the pastor at Saddleback Church in San Diego, Todd Doxson in Omaha, Nebraska at Love Church, Joel Osteen in Houston, Texas at his church, Les Beecham from Lifegate Church in Omaha, Nebraska, and Doug and Matt Shada, which are relatives of mine. I've gotten a lot from them also, but there's so many people that have impacted my life. And in people, I've got to reference Mike O'Connell, they call OC from Love Church in Omaha. He reminds me to eliminate the negativity all the time that surround us today more than ever. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that you could sit and write down all the negative things that you hear throughout the day. I'm telling you, not saying that they're not important and those news events are not important, but if they don't affect you, you've got to find ways to avoid them. It's never too late. If you say, I've been listening to negative stuff my whole life, a lot of the things I do are negative, it's too late for me. No, it's not. It's never too late to build a foundation for a positive life. So being positive in a negative situation is not naive. It's good leadership. It doesn't matter what the negative situation is. You can spin it to be positive or you can avoid it. As a motivational speaker, I spent years and years advising people to eliminate the negativity from their lives. Because if we do, then we can make room for positivity, which we all should embrace. So we all need to be reminded of ways to live the best life God intended us to live. We are going to face sometimes unexpected challenges that we're not going to be prepared for. But we're going to be better equipped to handle them if we have a positive outlook and solution-oriented attitude. So today, I want to just go through some brief things that I think, some antidotes that will help you eliminate negativity out of your life and bring in more positivity. I brought some good tea with me today. Okay, a negative thinker sees a difficulty in every opportunity. They find something wrong. We all know people like that. While a positive thinker sees an opportunity in every difficulty. Think about that. When was the last time you had a difficulty, whether it be your career, personal life, children, your spouse, significant other? When's the last time you had a difficulty that the first thing you thought of is, how can I turn this into a positive? What can I do to make this a positive situation? Well, most of us don't. We just agree that it's negative and we just go along with it. So if you're like me and we're always looking for ways to free ourselves from negative noise so we can start living a more positive and productive life, I want to give you some suggestions that has helped me, okay? One is avoid comparing yourself to others or competing with your peers. I think that's one of the worst things that we can possibly do, but I've been guilty of it. We're all guilty of it, especially with social media out there. Pastor Rick Warren from Saddleback Church in San Diego, he puts it best. People buy things they don't need with money they don't have to impress people they really don't like. Now, how many times have you bought something only because someone else has it? And Cam's over there laughing. How true is that, Cam?
It's the truest thing. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he's got it. I want to get it, or I'm going to feel like I'm left out. That really is negativity. It doesn't work for you. Being financially strapped can make you feel trapped in negativity. It is so true. Trying to keep up with the Joneses. Being in real estate, I can't tell you how many times people have come to me and, I get them pre-approved. And so what are you pre-approved for? Well, we're pre-approved up to $500,000 for a house. They say, that's great. But they know they can find a house for $300,000 that's going to fulfill all their family needs and get whatever they need for their housing. But people will spend more money just to impress other people because they have a more expensive home. And I've never really understood that. But Anyway, and like I said, stay away from social media posts that make you feel anxious or jealous. Ladies and gentlemen, this is part of negativity. Avoid reading or listening to messages on topics that fuel anger and hate. Instead, focus on positive and uplifting messages like the ones you'll find in the Van D podcast. I'll be darned. What a similarity. Positive Van D podcast. But seriously, I can't tell you how many people are, especially today, are comparing themselves to the people they're seeing on social media. You know, social media does not tell you all of the struggles and all of the issues that these people have, not just the happy times. Another is distance yourself from negative people who bring you down more than they lift you up. Even if they're friends or family members. Stay away from people that bring you down. I want to tell you something. I avoid anybody that their first mission when they see me is to bring me down or to say something that may not be a positive statement. People are jealous when you have a good positive attitude and you love life and you can't wait to wake up every day to tackle your day. Believe me, there's going to be people that are not going to be on your team. As my buddy OC says, what we pursue determines our growth. So we need to surround ourselves with people who positively influence our life. I want to be around people I can learn from. I don't care if I've been there, done that, and accomplished all this great stuff. I want to be around people I can learn from. It makes my life more interesting. I love being around positive people. Our time on this earth is short, so we need to use it wisely and avoid negativity at all costs. And here's what I always tell myself. This is not a dress rehearsal. Every second I'm on this earth is the real deal. And nobody has the right to destroy my peace of mind and my positive attitude. I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many times in my career I've told somebody something really great and they try to poke holes in it. Now, do I want constructive criticism? Yes, because it helps me grow. But man alive, not every second from the same person. And like I said a little bit ago, remember, you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So another thing, I'm just going to tell you how it affects me. If I watch TV programs or negative programs, all the hate and the violence and all the things that are going on in our society and with COVID, it's going to affect me. It's going to affect my attitude. It's going to affect everything. So if I'm going to take the time to watch TV, I want to take the time to watch things that are going to expand my knowledge or increase my positive attitude. One of my favorite television shows that makes me better, not makes me less, is Shark Tank. And I want to tell you why. A lot of you know that I'm pro-business. I love anything business. If I can get better as a businessman, or most of the time, I'm trying to learn new things to relay to other people. Since I'm a confidence coach, where I help people gain confidence and become better at their career and their life, I need to constantly be learning new things so I can share it with them. But Shark Tank gives me new ideas that can help me become a better business person. I want to tell you something. I would be willing to pay a monthly subscription fee to CNBC because of all of the positive programming they have for business people. It is a learning ground. So, not to spend too much time or give a commercial for CNBC or Shark Tank, but man alive, if you're trying to get ahead in life, put all this positivity in your head. Soak it up. Soak positivity from any media that you're looking at. And it's not like every day I wake up Johnny Motivator. I can't begin to tell you how many times I've started my morning in a not so great mood. But then somebody I run into has a positive comment or a simple smile that has uplifted my mood in a split second. Think about it. When you're around positive people, it changes our mood. And I strongly believe that each of us have the God-given ability to filter out the negative noise surrounding us, and we need to make a commitment not to spread negativity. We need to make a commitment to be the bright spot in every life we can, because especially today, we need positivity more than ever. One of my spiritual leaders that I like to listen to, I don't agree with everything she says, but that's okay. You don't have to agree with everything people say that you admire and that empower you. But Joyce Meyer, she says, being negative only makes a difficult journey more difficult. You may be given a cactus, but you don't have to sit on it. So think about it. We're all going to wake up in the morning with challenges. So if we wake up with a positive mindset and attitude, and instead of starting out, maybe you don't start out your day listening to negative news. I want to tell you what I converted to quite some time ago. Instead of starting out my day listening to negativity, I turn on some spiritual messages, and mine happens to be Joel Osteen. He has a cube that I press a button every morning, and it gives me a new message, and it's a great way to start out my day. Now, is that going to be right for you? Maybe not, but something that makes you smile. Besides my dog, Baxter. So that's a great thing to wake up to, is to my dog. He makes me happy, so I guess that's positive. So I like reading what Dr. Michelle Sherwood has to say. She's an authority on eliminating negativity. And she says sometimes in life it can seem as if the mind takes a negative turn. If the sun is shining, you may think that it's raining. If the stars are bright, you may think the sky is without light. Make every effort to avoid becoming a victim of stinking thinking. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what it is. If we're thinking negatively, guess what's going to open up in our life that day? We're going to bring a lot of negativity in. The only life you have to live is the one you've got. If your mind is in continual negative place, you may miss living up to your full potential. So I want to give you some strong tips that Dr. Sherwood and I totally agree on, that help turn those derogatory mental moments around and turn you into more of a positive person. One is, everybody knows this, be grateful. When you start thinking about all the things you're grateful for, man, that will turn the negativity around. I can't tell you how many times I've had some negative challengers or negative in my head, and all of a sudden I start thinking about, man alive, why am I going there when I have so many things to be grateful for? Even for the smallest of things. It's impossible to be negative and grateful in the same breath. Try it. Try being really negative and then being very grateful. You can't do it. The minute you catch your mind in a negative thought, focus on how grateful you are. Be grateful for what you have. When you are grateful, you will be able to watch negativity drown in its own sorrow. No longer can it control your mind. And one of the things that I'll probably even bring up again in this podcast is I'm a big fan of writing things down. If things aren't going your way in your life, get a pad and paper right at the top. Things I am grateful for in my life. We need to remind ourselves. And if we put it in writing and we look at it over and over again, it'll make us aware of how grateful we are. Another is catch yourself when you're complaining about something. I want to tell you something. Anybody can complain. You can have a second-grade education and be a great complainer. But complaining can be a bad habit. And I mean as much as even when somebody comes over to your office and you say hello and you say, hey, Johnny, how you doing today? And they say, well, I'd be better if it wasn't so cold out. Okay, now, seriously, why would you start out a conversation complaining about something? Be aware and catch yourself before you start complaining. Let positivity resonate in your mind. Catch yourself. Don't be one of these guys. Also, concentrate on positive feelings. We can create a brand new groove for pleasant feelings the more often we allow our minds to remember the good stuff. The easier that kind of thinking becomes. So when you got negative thoughts in your mind, think about the good things in your life. You know, a lot of times I walk around singing. I love singing, even if it's a commercial that sticks in my head. I'm not leaving room for negative stuff to get into my ways. To get into my mind and the way my day is going. And I want to tell you something. This is like anything. It's like playing a sport. It's like being on the debate team. It's like practicing for something special. This isn't something that comes natural to a lot of us. We have to practice. We have to practice getting rid of negativity. It's not just something you say, hey, today I'm going to get rid of negativity. You got to make it part of who you are. You just do. If you want to be wise, one of the ways to be wise effort is letting go of that which is not helpful and cultivating that which is skillful. Oftentimes we are hanging on to things that have long since gone by. If there's something in your childhood, let it go. Quit obsessing about it and hanging on to it and having the negativity from that. Stop blaming other people and obsessing about it. There's so many things that we can do for self-help. The past is gone. The past is gone. It will not return. Your positive attitude will shape your future. I'm just telling you, we are in a country, the United States of America, that we have so many things to be positive about and so many things that we should be grateful about. This is an area, eliminating the noise, eliminating the negative out of your life. We have this ability. I promise you right now, after you listen to this podcast, get a pad and pen and write down the negative things in my life. Write them down. Just trust me on this. Please write them down. And then look at every one and then say to yourself, how can I eliminate this? And I'll guarantee you something, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to find a way. Like Zig Ziglar says, don't let negative and toxic people rent space in your head. Raise the rent and kick them out. I love that quote because the only person that can get rid of negativity and the wrong people in your life is you. What else are you waiting for? When you get rid of the negativity, and I'm going to tell you something, this is a real problem. I can't tell you how many people I know that are just full of negativity. When you avoid certain people to protect your emotional health, it's not a weakness. It's called being wise. Don't apologize for getting rid of the wrong people, the wrong situation, the wrong job, listening to the wrong stuff. And now more than ever, lies are being spread from politics to health, things about our health, the news, everything. Only listen to people that hopefully know what they're talking about and not people that will bring you down. Just like Joel Osteen said from Lakewood Church, who I happened to go down and meet a couple years ago because Joel Osteen really speaks to me. He's probably the most positive spiritual leader I've ever met. He speaks about how fortunate we are to be alive. He says you cannot hang out with negative people and expect to live a positive life. You just can't. And I want to tell you another gentleman named Harvey McKay, who's written many, many positive books. I was fortunate to sit right next to him at a speakers and authors conference in Anaheim, California a while back. It was so cool because I've read all his books, and I got to sit by him and talk to him the whole time that we're listening to this other speaker. Harvey McKay says, if you find yourself plagued by a recurrent worry, train yourself to think of something else. Your conscious mind can concentrate on only, now listen to this, your conscious mind can concentrate on only one thought at a time. And driving the negativity away will free you up to move forward again. Think about that. Think about that. When you've got something negative that's bothering you, automatically start thinking about something positive, something good in your life. And ladies and gentlemen, we all have something positive in our life that we can think about. Don't be a pessimist. It does nothing for you. So one of the first things I want to tell you to do before I wrap this up today, please, on your journey to live a more positive life, spend time with people that have a positive influence on your life and be grateful for them. And tell them that you're grateful for them. I can't begin to tell you how many times in my wonderful life that I have not been in the greatest of moods, and I run into somebody that's got a huge smile on their face, and they say something nice like, Van, I really like your tie. Even though they might be lying, it makes me smile and it makes me feel good. We have the ability to share positivity, and it all starts with us. So I want to go back to one thing before I say goodbye to you for this podcast. Please, 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 get a pad and paper. Right at the top, negative things in my life. And you got to be honest. It does you no good if you're not honest. Please, write down the things that are negative in your life, and then over time, remember I said being a positive thinker doesn't happen overnight. Go to this list and start eliminating these things one by one by one, and be aware. Be aware of the negative things in your life. Really start noticing, because once you do and then you eliminate it, watch all the great things that will happen in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, I would be thrilled if you would please tell people about this podcast that could use a little help with their attitude, with their positivity in their life. I want to ask all of you to please subscribe to this podcast. You can do it at vandeeb.com. Go to Apple, Spotify. And for those of you that need help with living a more positive life, or maybe your sales force, or maybe your company, maybe they need help with that. This is what I specialize in, is helping people become better. And I've lived it. It's my life experiences, and I would love to come share that with you or coach you on how to live more of a positive life. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I can't wait to get back with you on the next podcast. Thanks for listening to the Van Deeb Podcast. Have a great day.
A Hurrdat Media Production.